So think of a seesaw, right? As there's a light and dark meter in this life. And as things happen and you do certain actions and you believe certain things and you work on certain things and you learn certain things, your seesaw, your meter starts going up and down. If you have more light than dark in you, it's easier for the light forces to give you light powers of suggestion. And I believe, I have no proof of this next statement, but I believe that light initially didn't intend to do this suggestion game. But when you realize what's happening, what are you going to do? Are you really just going to let all your people be enslaved by the slave master? You're going to fight back. And unfortunately, you have to play their game. Yes, they win by us even engaging with it, but are we really just going to let all of humanity be enslaved and destined to just being an energy slave? To be exploited? No more. This is deliverance. We're going to be free. We're finally free. So, if we can acknowledge and accept that the vessels that are used to communicate with us are shared by both the light and dark, let's use some crude examples, but they get the message across. Think of sex and having a baby. There's thousands and thousands and thousands, or whatever the count is, of sperm. One is chosen. One is the one that makes it through, and that's the baby that's born. So think about it like that. Like there's a shared vessel, right? And the light and the dark are trying to be the one, get their message across. Be the one sperm that makes it through. And sometimes it's going to be the dark one, and sometimes it's going to be the light one. You're like, no, it's the dark one. It's like, oh, no. They just put a really bad message to him. I'm like, oh, gosh, I hope he can survive. But the reason why I say, depending on your meter, depending on the seesaw, the balance, if you have more light, think of it like a bubblegum machine. There's countless, if you have more light, there's more flavors that you like. If you have more dark, there's more flavors that you hate. And it's when you put in the coin and it starts spinning and spinning and spinning, and one falls down. The one that falls, like, it's just literally just probability at that point, right? There's a higher chance that a light message is going to get through to you, a light nudge, a light suggestion. And that's the reason to do good. That's the reason to be better. If you want to really just dumb it down to the simplest terms, it's just, if you're good, if you're a loving person, if you're helpful, if you just have the desire to be peace in you, and like you just radiate light through light actions, dark motivations, but light actions, there's going to be more light suggestions that present themselves to you. Doesn't mean that there won't ever be dark ones, but they're significantly reduced because they're playing in the same arena. The same vessels are all being used. So unfortunately, I still haven't found a way to have zero dark. They still manage to get through, and the more you know, they're going to be, especially as you start gaining this knowledge, you do become, I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to tell you do become a person of interest, right? Like, they listen to everything we talk about, right? Especially if you have your phone on you and you don't have all the settings turned off, the privacy settings, they can hear everything, okay? But why would they listen to someone who just has no idea? And literally they spend their entire day just playing video games. Nothing wrong with playing video games, by the way. I've learned 70% of everything that I know playing video games. Amazing stuff. There's so many good stories in there. But that percentage is not accurate, by the way. I can't put a number on it. But I learned a lot from it. So the point is, they're not a risk. They're not a threat. They're not dangerous because they're just going to play games, whatever. They're not going to tell anyone. They're not going to investigate anything. But what if you actually become someone who will? The attacks are going to ramp up. But just like we talked about yesterday, if you cross that red line, if it's only one person that crosses that red line, the guards know exactly who to attack, who to focus on. But if it's literally 1,000 of us, what are they going to do? If they focus on me, let's go. Literally 999 of you are free to do everything you want. I will take all the attention gladly because I know the game 100%. I will gladly do that for you any day of the week. Bring it on. But do you see how it is? Like if we start doing it together, we become unstoppable. They can't stop us. They can't. What are they going to do? So if they focus on that person, well, then they liberated me to literally just go at it. And if now I'm free to do it, well, they better be scared. So do you see what it means? Like then they have to now pick and choose, like which fire do you put out? If there's 1,000 fires, you have to start doing triage. And how do you start doing triage? Triage, there's always going to be victims, unfortunately, this prioritization. But they're like, well, we have to stop him. But what if I taught everyone all my knowledge and you guys start spreading it and you start teaching everyone all your knowledge? If everyone knows the same things, if everyone has the same power, if everyone has the same drive, the same actions, even if I'm slightly better than you because I was the one who first figured it out, but you're going to get there as you start practicing. They can't. It doesn't matter. Like whoever they stop, they're still going to lose. You see why we have to sing together? You see why we have to get together as one? Because they just can't stop us if we're united. It's literally impossible for them. They're going to do triage, but they're going to lose. It's 100% guaranteed that they're going to lose. So one of the things that I want people now to think about is, first of all, take a sip. That was a lot. This is the way.